So it's a very magical liquid. However, it needs like the alcohol to actually activate all that. So it needs the ethanol and everything. Otherwise, it's just fucking water, right? So it's important to understand how alcohol will actually work with the flavors of a dish and all that, and even how it metabolizes. So I just don't, you know, do all that. I just don't partake. I don't go out to drink. I don't drink at home. You know, nothing like that. So that's really what it is. But and even then, so I only do that if I need to. So this last one was sake. I haven't had bourbon in a few months now. So yeah. Dang, I think I caught that on camera. Now I'm gonna get banned for having Dr. Pepper. Anyways. Oh, thank you so much, Manuel. All right. So what we do have, we have our mungus beans, right? Very good. Usually like a Chinese style bean, if I'm correct. They, once those micros come out, they sprout like that. They're really neat. We got, what is this? Cilantro. These are just the micros. Curious about that. Cilantro or coriander, as what they call it. Coriander seeds, technically. How often do I read? I actually read quite a bit. If you were here before, this entire shelf right here was nothing but books, nothing but cookbooks. But I actually sold quite a bit. Actually, you know what? Here, check this out for you guys on Switch. Hey, have a good night, Jameson. Thank you for coming in. Let me blow my nose and I'll show you something really fast, right? All right, so let me move this chair. I got my cutting board there. So let's change the scene on the side so you guys could, because I can able to move this, right? So take this camera off. Yeah, see, that's the cool thing about having Velcro, folks. Velcro's one of those cool things, and move this underneath. All right, so this whole shelf right here was all books once upon a time, but I ended up selling like over half of my collection, so I could really double down on this stream, and I just needed money at the time. So, you know, got extra equipment for the stream. I got the stream deck, and I got a cam link, which is what we were using for our GoPro up there. I am wanting to get like a nice mirrorless, something in my $500 range, but money's money, man. But in time. And then that way I can use that mirrorless also to take pictures. So to stream all that stuff. And my face camera is actually an old iPad, right? So we have all that. But yeah, I had this whole thing right here for books. So these are all the books that I've refused to sell. And this is double-sided too, right? So I'm not sure if my camera will reach, but there are books behind this. Now this whole bookshelf was like that, right? So some of these books I tried to sell down here. Again, they're double-sided, and these are all some really great books, right? And then I have my knife roll in my backpack that for work right there. But even more books right there. These are all books that I still intend to sell. I think I have someone picking up these 4 books coming Friday, I believe. But yeah, and I've read all of them. So I've taken what I needed from them, and it was kind of a big deal for a lot of people that I was selling them because of, like, it took me years to build those. In Arizona, okay, are you done moving? Oh, yeah, stupid. That's the thing. So I actually have this mic, or this camera mounted to a microphone. So, like on a boom mic. There we go. That should be a bit more stable. Anyways. So, yeah, Salt's a great book. It's great. But yeah, I sold a bunch of books, and so when I made the announcement, a lot of people were like, no, don't sell them. I was like, no, I've taken what I could from them, and I sold them all at a massive discount, right? So I did like the sale for like $5, $10, and $20, depending on the rarity, depending on the like what it would cost me or how much it would cost them to buy the book brand new, and did it from there, right? And there is salt, fat, acid, heat. Yeah, there is salt, fat, acid, heat behind. That one I was gonna sell, but partner was like, no, keep that one because they want to read it. And that book is great. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. You know, but the book essentially, it's not really a cookbook. It just teaches you how to use your palate really well. You know, in order to cook. There's a reason why it's such a highly recommended book. Do I have a favorite seafood to cook and or eat? Yes, I do. I love eating unagi. I love broiled fish. My favorite fish is mackerel, saba mackerel, and it's actually a fish that a lot of people don't really like. It's a little bit too fishy for them, but I think that's why I love it so much. Like a nice, really good grilled mackerel with some cilantro and lime juice is just it's so fucking good. It's just one of my favorite things to eat, you know. So yeah, that's thing. Oh, I'm sure you guys have nice seafood in Australia. Like, I'd be disappointed if you don't. Actually, I'm very disappointed in the Washington food scene because we have such good produce. We have such good seafood, and everyone here is a picky fucking eater, and they will only eat the same thing over and over and over again. There's so many restaurants here that have the same menu, and they all taste the same. And if they don't taste the same, it's just basic, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating for me, you know. Like, and the people who do actually eat some of the food that I do end up cooking, that's just on its own level, they know, like, oh, this is something special. Why this is the best I've ever had. And and it's weird because at Jolie, my executive chef job, I would consistently get that, and it's always a great feeling when I get that. I kept that restaurant alive for 2 years, you know, under my rule by myself, management wise. That sucked. I'm never doing that again, unless I own my own restaurant. But even then, so. But it doesn't mean that the doors will be open because people are complimenting your food and they say it's the best that they've ever had. And that's just an unfortunate fact. You know, it's just a thing. But I wish it wasn't. I wish, like, word of mouth can only go so far. But ultimately, just like how you vote in the books, you vote with your dollar, ultimately. You know, whatever you do, you can say something is the best, but if you're not going to buy it or eat there or whatever every day, and you're not supposed to eat there every day, right? Ultimately, it's what it is, you know. I remember working there, and the day that my general manager quit was the same day that I got my first article written up for Eater. And I remember, like, I was both scared and stressed as well as happy. I was happy as, like, all right, I got the one thing that I wanted. I wanted an Eater article. That's all I care. I don't care about James Beard. I don't care about any of that like that. If I get it, cool, whatever. I got what I wanted. But I was scared and all that. It's like, fuck, now I know I'm going to be busy for at least this next week, and I have to do all this by myself. And I was. And it was not fun. I was short-staffed. I was, you know, I didn't know how to run front of house effectively. In some aspect, I still don't, right? But that's also why there are professionals who can do that. There's hospitality servers and everyone who's vastly better than I'll ever be as a server, right? There's a reason why I'm in the kitchen. You know, and it's hard to convey a style of serving that you wish to have. I want people to be fun. Like, if you guys watch The Bear, my favorite episode on The Bear is Forks. And that's the episode where I can't think of his name. The asshole. Oh, thank you for the heart. Thank you for the heart, Kason. Where he goes to a restaurant and he essentially learns how to be an exceptional front of house staff person. It's still my favorite episode of The Bear. Because it's like, it's shit like that I want. I want my servers to just go that extra little bit, because my food will not bring you back, but your hospitality will bring you back. I can have like the most mediocre shit, but if you are the best server that I've ever had, I will go back just to see you, right? I'll spend my money just to see you. And that's hard to teach servers, you know? It's hard for them to want to care. And it boggles me. It pisses me off, actually. Because servers make so much more money. So much more money than cooks do, right? More money than chefs do. And they work a fraction of the hours of everything that I do, or that chefs do in general. Yet they can't be bothered to put in that extra effort. It pisses me off. It bothers me, right? So it's that exact same mentality when it comes to streamers, right? Like, there's a lot of like effort that I'm putting into like my cooking streams. I know that you guys in TikTok have seen it for like the past half year, right? You know, and I'm doing even more. I'm trying to do even more for Twitch production wise. But it's a thing, guys. Like it bothers me. And I'm sure it would bother you guys. You know, you see other people who don't work as hard, but they get so much more appraisal than you do, and or money or whatever it is. They get recognized more than you do, you know. Yeah, I would even argue that the front of house staff experience is even more than the food, right? I would argue that your front of house experience is much more important than any food that you have, right? Because, you know, if the server is caring and they put in that effort for that food or for your experience, you know, you can always comp them off that food. You can always be like, all right, they didn't eat this food. Your food fucking sucks, but I can take it off your bill and you don't have to pay. Or, oh man, I'm sorry that your food came late or your drinks came late. How about an extra drink for you? Or you want a free dessert? I can do that for you. Because they're gonna go out of their way to do that. And now you feel a lot more warm. You feel a lot more welcome. Like, oh, this isn't my fault. Or, oh, I made a mistake coming out to eat at this restaurant when I could have spent my money somewhere else that I'm already familiar with. I could have gone to Five Guys. I love Five Guys, don't get me wrong. But all that. Oh, I plan on going to Australia one day. Something I really want to do. So Australia barbecue reminds me a lot of Mexican barbecue. The way that the cooking technique, and that's something I really want to learn. What's his name? Lennox. I forgot. He owns Fire Door. I really want to experience that restaurant. I would love to experience that restaurant. That's one of my bucket list restaurants is Fire Door, right? Yeah, I really want to go there. Yeah, just like the hospitality is a whole thing, and a big reason why I get upset in Washington is because Washington is kind of overgrown by tech bros, right? So because everyone's like a tech bro, everyone just does the same shit. I just want the same thing over and over, you know. You did meet him? Oh, nice. I remember knowing about him through Bourdain before anything with this Michelin stuff, before he even opened Fire Door. I knew about that one episode with Anthony Bourdain way before anything of that happened. And then when I saw that episode of Chef's Table, I was like, is that him? And he explains that in there. I was like, oh shit, it is actually him. I knew about him forever ago, you know, before I even like officially stepped in the kitchen. Because I've been cooking professionally now for, I'm turning 35, so 18 years, right? I've been cooking professionally for 18 years. So that's how long it must